History has been decorated with a colorful assortment of men and women that were so far ahead of their time and paradigm that they were called outcasts and charlatans, only to now be called mavericks and trailblazers. Men and women like Sir Francis Bacon, Helena Blavatsky, Percy Fawcett, and Manly P. Hall, just to name a few. People that now we look at with reverence, but at the time, people looked at with disdain, called them pseudoscientists and a range of other things. Imagine if the pioneers and freethinkers of our time had a place to assemble and put their wanderings, ponderings, and thoughts all in one cohesive place. Well, now we do. Introducing Pharaohs, a brand new publication by the Institute for Natural Philosophy. This magazine aims to provide an alternative offering for those enraptured by our history, cosmos, and our place in it all. The first issue is over 200 pages and features many articles, columns, and exposés on some of our universe's most fascinating concepts. And the magazine is as much of a treat for your eyes as it is for your mind, with every page beautifully and expertly designed to accentuate the entire experience. The digital download is available now for free at the Institute for Natural Philosophy's website, and a physical copy will be available for purchase soon. Link in the description below. Stay tuned and stay curious, my friends.
Good evening and welcome to another special guest episode on the Institute for Natural Philosophy. Tonight with us is Viduo, who is a researcher in Chinese history that had found some very interesting, how should I call it, images, petroglyphs? Petroglyphs that confirm at least a previous contact with the Americas from China before what is told by academia. So before we start, Vi, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and how you get to this research?
Hi, everyone. I'm originally from China. I live in the United States now. I've been here for quite a while. I have a master's degree in history, but I left the mainstream academia quite a while since I moved to the United States. What I'm doing now, as a profession, it's nothing to do with history, but since it's my academic background, so in my spare time, I always pay attention to the trend in both mainstream academia and alternative history community. So over time, I got to know there are tons of petroglyphs in the American Southwest. Because I know the earliest petroglyphs dated here are at least like 11,000 years ago. So the petroglyphs are the prehistorical records, information left by the Asians. They are way earlier than any book records, right? Any writings left by the Asians. So if we want to get to know things from that time period, we need to look into petroglyphs. They are precious information, historical records left by the Asians in the prehistorical period. So when I got into, when I got the chance to travel to the national parks in the American Southwest, the first time I traveled to American national parks and viewed some petroglyphs in person. I just have this feeling, I have to do some research on this. I feel the call, in my mind. So I made a decision in 2023. In January, I started my journey. I want to check on these petroglyph sites as many as possible in person. So the first site I went to is called the National Monument in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. I went to that site. There are like tens of thousands petroglyphs made in different time period, in different styles. Okay, so 3 days after I left that site, I followed Incredible History on X at that time, on Twitter at that time back then. So I saw him post a tweet. It's about Dr. Russ Kemp's research book. So basically, his book is about what he thinks Asian Chinese writings found in the American Southwest passages. So my first reaction is, what? No way. There's there like Asian Chinese writing characters found here, like 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, because I was trained by the mainstream academia, right? So the mainstream academia's narrative about Asian American history is after the end of Ice Age, after the land bridge was submerged by the sea, the Americans were isolated from the old world, right? Until Columbus discovered the new continent in 1492, right? In 1492. So I was like, no way, because my mind was like, stubborn at that time. But I am a person who always respects facts, no matter how shocking it is. I have to look into it first, right? So I purchased Douglas Camp's book. The first time I finished reading his book, I still didn't think they are Asian Chinese characters. Why? Because Asian Chinese characters looks like drawings, look like symbols. So in ancient time, all of the Asian cultures shared the same symbols, right? So I think maybe they're just Asian symbols. So Asian symbols are similar to Asian Chinese characters. Maybe they are not exclusive Asian Chinese characters. They're just Asian symbols shared by all of the Asian cultures all over the world. But yeah, to be honest, I don't agree a lot of identifications in Dr. Roskamp's book. I think they're just Asian common symbols shared by all Asian cultures. But something very special is about the boulder at the Albuquerque National Monument Albuquerque site, because on this boulder, first of all, the first person who pointed out there must be Asian Chinese character and the Song Dynasty king's titles are not Dr. Roskamp. Dr. Roskamp, he doesn't know, understand the Chinese writing.
Yeah, but did he recognize them as Chinese on his book or not, or just as symbols?
He did. He doesn't understand Chinese. He cannot speak Chinese. He cannot write Chinese. But what he did is he went to these sites, took pictures, and sent to several Chinese scholars
who
studies Asian Chinese character to recognize, identify for him. So here comes the problem, because the person who went to the sites are not the person who identified the
right.
Because if you want to figure it out, you have to go there in person, right? Because there are lots of, for example, you have to compare this character with the petroglyph with the petroglyph surrounding it. If in a bunch of characters on the same border, you only recognize one Chinese character, all the others around this one are not Chinese character, which means this one is not Chinese character. Because the reason is very simple. If Asian Chinese people came over to the site, they only carved one singular character. That all the others carved at the same time a Native American symbol. It doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
You came over here, you decided to carve something meaningful. At least you carve a group of them, right? Which makes sense to you. So in a lot of cases in his book, in a site, there are like hundreds or thousands or even tens of thousands petroglyphs, or there are like a couple of many petroglyphs on the same boulder, same rock panel. Only one in his book recognized as Asian Chinese character. In those cases, I don't think the identification is true or is correct. But there are also some exceptions. For example, is this particular boulder at the Albuquerque site, because the first person who identified those Song Dynasty writings are Professor Kingley, who died a couple of years ago, but who was a professor teaching Asian Chinese writings and Song Dynasty writing at the University of California, Berkeley. He was like the #1 scholars in this field in the Western world. Okay, I think, of course, in China, we have lots of scholars specialized in this field, okay? But in the Western world, he was like the #1 scholar. So he was the first person who recognized, oh, it looks like Song Dynasty king's titles and Song Dynasty's characters. So he gave this information to Dr. Ruskamp. This is how Dr. Ruskamp got into this research or his journey. Okay, and later he wrote a book. So, so for this particular boulder, not only each of the petroglyphs can be matched with a Song Dynasty character, but also we can see 2 kings' titles in this. Can you open the file to show?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
That boulder. We don't go into too much detail today, but we can introduce some important panels, petroglyphs. The Song Dynasty, not this. This is a common cultural one. Dynasty. Yeah, this one.
So should I start by which one?
Scroll. Stop. You see the blue table in the middle?
This one?
The next, the one below it.
This one.
Yes, this one. This one is a boulder I want to talk about in particular. Yes, okay. So let's see. On this particular boulder, except for the turtle symbol, every petroglyph can be matched with Song Dynasty's character. So why I think it's not Native American symbols, because the turtle symbol, we can see that everywhere in American Southwest. And the cross, we know it's a universal symbol, right? But other than these two, except for these 2 symbols, all the other petroglyphs, because I've been a lot of petroglyph sites in person. I also watched like at least 100 videos about the petroglyphs in American Southwest. I have never seen any other one, except for the turtle and the cross one, that appear in any other places. You know, so which means all the other petroglyphs are unique, only appeared once on this particular boulder. So if they were Native American symbol, you know, Native American because when they go everywhere they go, they carve this symbol, their symbols repeatedly. You don't only see one petroglyph once, you see them everywhere, or at least you see them a couple of times in other places. But on this boulder, for example, the one circled in yellow, in green, in white. So there you cannot see them. So you cannot see any of them appeared in any other places. They are unique to this boulder. See, this is why if people say, oh, they're just coincidence. If you see it's a coincidence, you assume they were carved by Native Americans, right? They are Native American symbol. But they are not, because they are not same or similar to Native American symbols. Okay, let me explain this boulder one by one.
Sure, let me just make it a little bit different so that I can also see you. Just give me a second. Where am I? I'm here. So I'm going to stop presenting and present again. Just give me a second. Because now I can select the screen for sure. It's this one. Right. Now it's working. Now I can see you. Okay, I'm just going to put the image properly so you can talk. And the image is
up. Yeah, show this boulder to the audience. Yes, okay. Let me explain or interpret this boulder in detail. So let's see the one circled in yellow, the part.
The yellow?
Yellow, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. On the right, we can see an animal like a dog or whatever, like a wolf. like a coyote, there is what's on its back.
Here.
What's on its back? Yeah, so this is its tail. Yes. What's that one? Like an arrow. You see an arrow?
Here?
Yeah. It's an arrow stabbed into its back.
Yeah, I see that. Okay.
Right? You see the arrow?
Yeah, I can see it here, right?
Yeah. At the bottom, this is the tip of the arrow, like this. Right? Yeah. Right. An arrow. Yes, an arrow pointed on its back or stabbed into its back.
Yes.
So which means, so first of all, I've seen a lot of animal petroglyphs in America or in the United States. I barely see any animal petroglyphs is similar or same to this one. I don't see any animal depicted in this way. I barely see an arrow into an animal depicted on any border in American Southwest. So if anyone sees something similar, okay, let me know. I challenge you, okay?
So what you're saying is there is no other representation of this animal anywhere else?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, no. So you see the long mouth, the tail style, I don't see anyone. We see lots of hind shape or bull, whatever.
Yes.
We see those kind of animal all over the place in American Southwest, or depicted on the rocks, but not this one. I don't see any other place. This one appeared in any other place in American Southwest.
To be honest, when I first look at it, because I'm used to medieval kind of depictions, it looked to me like a griffin because of the wings. I cannot explain the arrow, but this almost like the wings in a badly drawn griffin. So, but that's because I'm seeing it from an European medieval perspective, right? So I get it wrong.
No, I just, if you think it's made by Native Americans, you need to compare this one with all of these other animal image made by Native Americans, like the big shrimp or big horn shape, claws, they depict everywhere, right? I cannot see anything else like this. I see those kind of animal motif petroglyphs appear again and again in other places, all over the place, but not this one.
Perhaps academics are based themselves on the fact that most of the tribes have legends about coyotes, or there's some kind linked to their mythology, to their legends, and so perhaps they look at it and look, we find the first coyote image.
Coyote, right? Depicted on the rock,
and they're killing him.
So anyway, so this is an animal with an arrow on its back, which means this is a hunted animal because the arrow is already in its back. So next to it, it looks like a vessel, a utensil, a vessel. So it looks very, very similar to the bronze vessel, utensil excavated from the last Song Dynasty capital city in China. In the last capital city, tons of oracle bone inscription unearthed, also tons of bronze artifacts, bronze weapons, bronze utensils, wet vessels unearthed in the last capital city. So on those bronze inscriptions, only two things are talked about. One is about the reigning king's sacrificial offering activity. It will record like the reigning king hunted how many animals today, then offered these animals to their ancestor, to their deceased ancestor and their gods. This record is only about the reigning king's two things. One is hunting and the sacrificial offering activity. The other is divination, because the Sun Kings did everything divination. For example, they hate the oracle bone to see the cracks, to see the shape of the cracks. So they read the cracks And some means bad, some means auspicious, you know. So for example, the king's wife was pregnant. He wanted to know if there are going to be any trouble. He did the divination. He hid the bones, or he asked the shamans to do this activity. Hid the bone, then see the cracks. According to the pattern of the cracks, we read it as auspicious or as bad luck, things like that. So basically, there are only two major events recorded in those excavated inscriptions. It's about the reigning king's activity, sacrificial offering, and divination. These two things are the outstanding cultural traits of the Song Dynasty. So what a coincidence. We see an animal with an arrow on its back. We see an utensil because in Song Dynasty, they use the bronze vessel containing the sacrifice to do the sacrificial offering ceremony. So we excavated a lot of bronze vessels in the royals' tombs with the offering, with the sacrifice,
with the bones still in them. Yeah.
Inside. So I'm going to show you later. We're going to show your audience bronze vessel with human hair inside it when it's excavated. So which means these bronze vessels are specially used for the sacrificial offering purpose. So what a coincidence. We see exactly the Song Dynasty cultural feature, cultural trait here, sacrificial offering, with an animal, has an animal with an arrow on its back, with a vessel looks like stuff next to this animal. This exactly matches the Song Dynasty culture, using a utensil or using a vessel to offer a haunted sacrifice.
Do you think that they did it because they did the sacrificial there once after they land on the land, or?
Yeah, I think they did this sacrificial ceremony. They hunted an animal here, then they made these petroglyphs to record or memorize this event. Or we did this ceremony, we make this offering to the deceased king. So we carved this to memorize. This is like a monument here, you know, to this is why
I'm just imagining here. Could the Indians of America have seen them and writing on the wall and then made a depiction of what they made? They kill an animal and they use this utensil to do the sacrifice?
Copy them. First of all, back then, 3,000 years ago, 3,400 years ago, only a few people knew how to write.
Right.
Not to mention carve the writing on rocks. It's a very specialized technique or skill or very specialized profession. For example, who inscribed the writings on the bones excavated in the last capital city in China? It's not ordinary people. It's somebody hired by the court, by the emperor.
Yeah.
This is a very high educated person, you know, who knew how to write and how to inscribe the writing on bones. We can try. Let us inscribe some writings on bones. It sucks. And also, let's try. If we can, everybody know how to write now. Can we carve the image of our characters, letters on rocks? It's very hard to do. Yes. It's a specialized profession. Okay, we've finished for this part. Let's see the whole picture. Let's see the whole, So let me introduce. The one circled in red is the father's title, the deceased king's title. So on the left, it's a cross. The cross in ancient Chinese writing means ancient Chinese has a astronomical and cylinder system, which basically use 10 tiangan and 12 dizhi. matched with each other, we have the 6 different combinations of them to repeat 6 recycling years. Okay, so the first character, the first symbol in Tantiangan is the cross symbol. Cross symbol is very ancient universal symbol. This is why in Song Dynasty, the king's titles, every king's title used 1 Tantiangan in their title. So this is why you see the cross in here. So left one is a person with arm outstretched.
Yes.
In Song Dynasty, if you see the image like a person with arms stretched upright standing there, it's not a regular person, it's a king, because only king can stand up with arm or looks like a great person. They depict the king, emperor, great person this way. We also have a character in Song Dynasty, which means ordinary person. It's like the person bending down.
Bending down, yes.
Yeah, bending down like bowing. So ordinary person cannot be depicted as a person whose arms outreached and standing up. So, so if a person's image is depicted this way, which means this is a great person, an emperor, a chief, stuff like that, not anyone else. Okay, so the combination of these these 2 categories stand for the 4th Song Dynasty king's title, 大家, who was the father. Okay, so let's go.
Just a question. Do you think that this on here was something or
bullets? Later when the European colonists came over here, they hate this category. They think this is like a magic or bad something, you know,
witchcraft.
Yeah, so they hate them. They just shoot the bullet on this category.
Okay, so this is also a bullet here and so on. I see. Okay.
Yes. So on the pasties, you see something very light next to the turtle, like a human face.
Next to the turtle?
Yeah, on the left. This was made by later people. You know, they are in different style, and you see the turtle is carved very deep, right? But the face is carved very shallow, light, which means they were not made by the same people. Because on the same category site, you can see like tens of thousands or thousands of different categories in different styles. So in a lot of cases on the same border, you see different styles, different types of categories. It's very normal in the American Southwest. So some people say, oh yeah, why you don't explain the other ones? Because the other ones are in different type. You can see the weathering, the level of weathering, the styles are very different. They were made by different people, different culture. Some are made by different tribes in different time periods. Some made by colonists, pioneers. Some even made by modern people with Western letters, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, you know. Yeah. So we always have to analyze case by case.
So you say that this like here that looks like a kite is...
So it looks like a human face.
Yes, the human face. You think this is from the Indians or from the Chinese?
I don't know. I don't. There are many possibilities, but not the same as other categories on this folder.
Okay.
Yeah, this is why I don't talk about them.
Sure, and you do well.
Right? You see, clearly they are different, right?
Sure.
So okay.
This seems to be linked with this here.
Yeah, these two. You can tell they are same style,
same technique.
Same technique, same level of weathering and you know, darkness or the depths, right? So the one circled in red is the father's title, first son and his king. So the one circled in green at the right corner, yeah, is a son's title. Okay, so usually there are 2 characters in a king's title. Why we only see 1 character? Because the first character is modified to describe like mighty or great or are small. So when they make the signature, they don't, especially at the offering, sacrifice offering thing, they don't pray the modified great in front of their name. You know, just like we understand it. For example, the British king's name is Peter. So in the ordinary people, in front of ordinary people, he can call him the great Peter, right? But in front of his deceased father, in front of his deceased ancestor, he cannot call him, oh, I'm the great Peter. He only sign his name as Peter because I'm your son. I'm humble in front of my deceased father. Do you understand that?
Ancestors, yes.
So this is why the son's signature only has one character. It's his name, not the modifier in front of his real name. Okay, so this is the reason. Let's zoom out. Yeah, let's see. So okay, wait. So we can see the father's title is on top. The king's title is at the bottom, at the corner. It makes sense. Why king was humble in front of the dead, so he doesn't put his title in center. Okay, let's see the one circled in blue. Yeah, as I
another spread arm, so another royalty.
Yes, as I introduced, if you see a person is like this, stand upright with arms outstretched, it's not an ordinary person. It's only the king. It only stands for the king. So this is why here means the reigning king, the king. Okay, the sitting king here. Okay, let's zoom out.
And why do you think they represented twice? 2 voyages, perhaps?
No. One is the king's signature. One is no, the
this one.
Yeah, it's his signature. So the one in blue, like in the text, I am the reigning king. I am here doing.
Oh, this is a text. They are not individual. This is a text. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So
this
it's
is
offering to this.
Yeah. So basically, the part circled in yellow is the theme, is the topic of this whole panel. What are we doing here? What's the topic of this whole text? It's sacrificial, animal sacrificial offering. We offer an animal here. This is the whole topic, the theme. So the part on the left is the text body, is the body of the text. What are we doing here? At the corners, the one circled in green is the signature.
The signature, okay. I see your point.
Okay, so yeah, this is the layout of this panel. So the one circled in yellow stands the reigning king. So I am here doing the ceremony, doing the sacrifice offering ceremony here. So one circled in white is a Song Dynasty character. So if we look carefully, we can see on the left, it looks like a hunting tool, a hunting fork. In the ancient time, people, when they hunt the animal, they use this long fork shape. So
you mean this one?
No, circled in white.
Here.
Yes.
Okay.
On the left, you can see it's like
the hook right here. So okay.
Yeah, like the hunting tool, like the hunting fork, right? On the right, it's a dog. It's a standing up dog like this.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Like a dog like this.
I see.
You see it? So the logic of this Song Dynasty character means the combination of these two things. Because when you do the hunting, you need a hunting tool. You need this hunting fork. Also, you need a hunting dog to help you with the hunting.
With the hunting, yes.
Yeah. So when you hunt, you need these two things. So the combination of this Song Dynasty character means hunt or what you hunted. It can be either a verb, means hunt. Also, it can be a noun, means what I hunt, what we hunted. So this Chinese, Asian Chinese characters. They are all the simplified or abstracted drawing. Okay, this is how we created the writing system. We basically simplify the drawing to create the characters. This is how the Chinese writing gets started. So even modern Chinese writing, people think, oh, you guys are drawing, right? This is what the origin of Chinese characters, Chinese writing system. So basically, the Song Dynasty, a lot of Song Dynasty writings and the characters, you can guess the meaning by just seeing the image. So for this word, you can guess. Oh, left is a hunting tool, right is a hunting dog, is a little cute dog. You need this tool to do the hunting activity. So this character means hunt.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at this one, circled in black. Yes, this one. Can you see on the upper part of the top? It looks like two people shoulder by shoulder, joining hands like this, doing the worship, doing the present. It looks like two people shoulder by shoulder, raising hands. Even the legs are like upward. Oh, some people like this. Oh, we are doing the worship.
Oh, I see. They're somewhat bowing. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, someone like, right?
Yeah, I see it.
Two people shoulder by shoulder. So why they put two people here? It means multiple people. A lot of people doing this worship scene. Okay. So the lower part like a 3 arrow pointing the direction. It's like let's follow one by one, pointing this way, moving this way. Let's gather together to do the worship, to do presenting the offering sacrifice together, to do the ceremony together.
I just want to say that for people that are looking at this and are not have no understanding of Chinese culture, especially ancient Chinese culture, they will find strange your descriptions, but they have to realize that for us to understand a specific situation, we have to understand the culture that situation is in context of.
I can tell you,
yeah.
Every Chinese person, no matter he's from the academia or he's just an ordinary Chinese person, have like a college education. I haven't, since I posted my paper, I haven't met any Chinese person who told me, oh, you are bullshit. Everyone, after reading my paper, after watching my video, everyone said, okay, I cannot deny they are Song Dynasty characters. Why? Because they, as Chinese people, they understand way better about Chinese culture and the Chinese writings than Western people who have no idea about Chinese writing and history and background information. This is why I haven't met one singular Chinese person after reading my paper or watching my video about this said to me, oh, no, I agree with you. Everyone agree they are Song Dynasty characters. This is the difference. Just like if somebody talking about the ancient Greek writing to me, I have zero knowledge about, I have trouble to understand. But if somebody who knows about Greek's language, their history, their background, their culture, then especially for people who knows about the ancient Greek, they will understand way better than I do, right? Sure. So I understand this. So the papers actually about the Asian language are not for ordinary people. For people who have kind of at least some level of the background knowledge to fully understand them.
Sure.
This is why sometimes I don't like to talk to people who have no background knowledge of those, it's very hard. Just like some people who specialize in Asian Greek try to talk to me about Asian Greek. It's a tough job,
Sure.
Okay, so let's continue.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what's this one? Pointed by the purple point. No, okay, we can, no, we'll talk about this one later.
Which one? Which one?
Underneath.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, this one. This one, some people say, oh, it looks like a snake. Maybe they're depicting a snake. I have seen tons of snake petroglyphs in the same petroglyph site and also around that region. A Native American depict snake like this one.
Yes, this looks like
not curvy like this. They just depict a snake like this way, or a snake like this way, like waving, waving strips.
If I saw it alone with no context, I would say it's some kind of Arabian symbol or something like that. But without a context.
Yeah, it's meaningless. Talk anything out of context, right? If I have no any other petroglyphs around it, I just say this one. I have no idea. I wouldn't link it to some dynastic character. But we have to talk about anything in the context. You see two kings' titles, father and son. You think every other one can be matched with the Song dynasty characters. Oh, you just pick it up. Say, oh, this one is not. It's a snake. It doesn't make any sense. So let's compare this one. Can you screw up? Let's go to the one I circled it. I talked about this one in particular. Go up.
In the page. You mean another page?
Yeah, in the page, not in the picture. Because I want to compare this one with some dynastic characters. Then the audience can understand it better. So go scroll up. Can you scroll down? I would like to talk about this utensil. This is an authentic bronze vessel excavated from the Song Dynasty royal tomb. You see what's inside it?
Yeah, I can.
It's
see
a cooked human head.
A head, not a hair.
Yeah.
Head.
In Song Dynasty, they offered human as sacrifice. So when it was excavated, the head is still in this.
Okay.
You see, they have 3 legs at the bottom, at the bronze vessel.
Like the
exactly
depiction.
Same as a petroglyph, 3 legs at the bottom. They have the handle, the handle on top. In the petroglyphs, they have more fancy handle. The handle is more fancy, but in the similar structure as this vessel. So they have the human head cooked in this to offer the sacrifice. So this is why when you see a sacrifice animal, when you see a offering vessel, which means a sacrificial offering. Okay, let's go up and scroll up. Yeah, I compared the one beneath this. These are all the Song Dynasty characters, meaning a vessel. You put the offering inside. You see,
it.
On top of the offering, at the bottom is a bronze utensil, bronze vessel. This is the meaning of the characters.
Yeah, this one, they're all very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, right. They're all depict a vessel.
And you see the flourish on this one, for instance.
Yeah, similar, very similar to the petroglyph. You can scroll up to see on top if you compare, right?
Right, exactly. The same
right?
flaring here.
Yeah, yes. So you see the 3 legs at the bottom?
Yeah.
Right?
No doubt about it.
Okay, let's go up to the particular one. Go up. No, this is here. We compare this one to the characters beneath it. Yeah. So can you show both the petroglyph and the characters together?
Okay.
Okay. So let's compare the second line. The second, the first one. Yeah, on the left. Yeah, let's compare this one. You see what these characters depicting. The depicting a person is in the kneeling position.
Exactly.
Okay, right? It's kneeling down or sitting over there on his feet. And this person is putting his arms or hands on his knees. This is what this person is doing the ceremony, because in the kneeling down position. Okay, so let's compare it with petroglyph. The petroglyph, you can see the person's heels, the person's feet on the right. Yeah, this is the person's feet. Then at the on the left, this is the person's knees in the kneeling position.
So she's kneeling towards this side.
Yeah, and the only difference is in the characters, the person's hand is putting on his knees, but in the petroglyphs, the person's hand like this, raising up to present. Right? This is the only difference. So this person is in the kneeling down position with his hand raising up to present. Okay, this is what this petroglyph means. So let's go back to the whole picture. So circled in different colors. Scroll down. Let's go back. We finished talking about that one. Yes, this one. So okay, so only thing left here is the turtle symbol. In the ancient Chinese culture, and including Song Dynasty, turtle was considered, because turtle live very long than humans, right? And turtle was very strong, because in ancient time, turtle was put as something that supports the bed. It has no food, but can survive for like a couple of months or even a long time.
Yeah,
so
very resilient. Yes.
Yeah, very strong, and it's also live very long. So due to its longitude and strength, ancient Chinese consider turtle as some magic animal. So this is why they inscribe the writings on the turtle bone. So majority of the bones excavated from the last capital city in China, in Song Dynasty's capital city, was turtle bones. They inscribed all the writings, all the characters on turtle bones.
Oh,
Why?
see.
Because they think turtles was the magic, the media, helping communication between them with the deceased world. Was the deceased world,
with the ancestors? Yes, with their ancestors.
Oh, with their gods. So this is why. So they carved the inscription on the turtle bone, or they do the divination. They hit the turtle bone. They see the crack, because after hit it up, the bones crack. They see the pattern of crack. They have that theory of this pattern means auspicious, means good. This pattern of cracks means bad luck, like that. So they all use turtle bones because they think turtle was the media for them to communicate with the other world. Okay, so exactly here, the turtle symbol is in between the living king and his deceased father. The part circled in red is a deceased king. The part circled in blue stands for the great one, the reigning king.
Yeah.
But the turtle symbol is right in between them. And next to the turtle is the reigning king of the living people in the kneeling position to worship, to present.
This one.
This one is the living king.
So this one is worshiping this one.
No, this one is worshiping his deceased ancestors, deceased father. This one, the one circled in blue, is in the kneeling position to worship or to present sacrifice to the one circled in red, or to present it to the turtle. The turtle is the media. Then the turtle.
I see.
This one. So this one is right beneath the turtle and the red one, but it's next to the living king, to the blue one. You know.
I see. It's exactly that. It's the medium for the connection.
Yeah. So you can see this one is next to the blue one. The blue one stands for the living king, the reigning king. So it's not above it or beneath it. This one is on its right, but beneath the turtle, beneath the red one. This one is.
And why do you think they use such a different scale?
What?
Different scale.
Different scale? I don't see difference. I see that they are all same scales.
No, not skill. Scale. In terms of size.
Oh, so, in terms of size, you think this one looks a little bit bigger?
Yes, then I'm asking if this is a cultural thing. The fact that
yes,
the living king is not represented in large size, but it's smaller than the other things around.
Very small. The skill doesn't mean the greatness. When you can see the real authentic oracle bone inscription, they carve very randomly. Take it this for example, the one circled in red. The one circled in red. This is his father's title, right? The fourth king's title. Sometimes it has a cross on left. Sometimes you have the cross on right.
On right. Okay.
Sometimes they have the cross on top. So they wrote because this is just the beginning of the Chinese writing system. They didn't do it very strictly like modern people do today. Okay, they're writing very, very random. Sometimes they put the cross on the left, on the right, on top. So the size. The size doesn't mean the greatness, okay? Because at that time they are still kind of primitive, okay, compared to us.
Sure. I was just asking for context. People might have thought about that.
You're free to ask me questions because what you want to know, maybe a lot of people want to know too, right? Especially for Western people who are not familiar with
exactly.
This
Look, I got this example many years ago. That is, you look to a European or American newspaper and you see things are all harmonious. You know where the title is, you know where the article starts and where the article has its middle and the end and the other articles around it and so on. And when you look at the Chinese or a Japanese newspaper, it's a mess for an European or American because they don't care about the looks. It's just the information. So it's all scrambled around the paper.
Yes.
So the Europeans and Americans look at that and think, but there's no headline, there's no something bigger than another one, just this mesh of squares with information in them, with the characters. So it's strange. For instance, you go to a neighborhood in America, all the houses are the same. You go to Europe and it happens the same. All the buildings are the same. And then you go to Japan, yes, and you in the same street, if there are 30 houses, the 30 houses will be different, even different colors. So it's completely varied. They don't. In
China, the building style, the people's cuisine, meals, food varies from regions to regions. You know, every 50 miles, every 100 miles, you see different style of buildings, different style of food. It's very diverse culture because China. When Western people think all Chinese people look the same, it's totally wrong. There are 56 different ethnic groups in China.
Yeah.
So we have people who look like Korean, look like Mongolians, look like Vietnamese, look like Thai. We also have people look like Turkish, look like Russian, look like white people. We also have people who have very dark skin, like brown skin in the south. We have people who have very white skin in the north. Even people look like have their Caucasian DNA. So people are different. So China is diverse in cultures, diverse in ethnicities, food, buildings. Everywhere you go, you see totally different styles of buildings.
And you think that is because there were a vast amount of different groups of people that were amalgamated into one kingdom? You think that's why?
Yes, because so this is why it's hard to talk to people who don't get the basic education or training from academia. The one thing is good to talk to people from academia is they got trained. They have the basic knowledge. So people think, oh, China is always the same territory, the same people, the same language. It's totally wrong. Chinese territory always change. Sometimes small, sometimes big. Sometimes only this part of people, this part of the region included. Sometimes they won the war. They have the people look like Turkish, included. So it will always change. So during like the Yuan dynasty, Mongols conquered Han Chinese. So China was lost to Mongols. Mongols was the rulers who ruled China about 200 years during the Yuan dynasty, which was like 800 to 1,000 years ago. Okay, so the territory changed. This is why we have different people, because sometimes they just like, oh, we want to join us. Sometimes they just lost their war, so they are conquered. Same thing happened. If you look at Europe, you just take the Britain as an example. Before, Britain was called the country of the sun never sink, right? Because everywhere on the globe, there was their colony, right? So same thing. Okay, so we have to, when we talk about China, oh, China is always the same. This country, especially for Asian empires, Asian countries, they always change. People change, people move. You find that Asian culture is like dated 5,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, even 8,000 years ago. You think the people who created this culture, this civilization, are exactly the same as the people who live on this land in modern day. It's totally wrong.
Sure.
You cannot link them together. I don't, in most cases, in 99% of cases, you find the Asian culture, the people lived on this land are different from the people live on this land today. Just take the Americas, for example, right? Before Columbus came, all Native Americans live on this land, who are totally different from modern people who are living on this land.
Oh, more than 600 different tribes, and probably much more even than that.
Yeah. But if you think, oh, Americans always lived with like white people and people like me, it's totally wrong. Just like 400 years ago.
But they tried to make it so. They did try to erase the history of the American Indians. So it's not.
People talk about the country, talk about it. They just think everything never changed. People change. The 1,000 years ago on the American land, only Native Americans. Now, white people, Asian people, people from all over the world, different color, are here living on this land, right? So I just want to remind the people, when you talk about something Asian, you don't assume 100 years ago, some years ago, all the same people, all the same culture, all the same empire. Even Chinese empire changed all the time. Sometimes it divided into like 10 kingdoms. Sometimes it's become unified again.
Yeah. And even in religion, they keep changing according to the emperor. So
yes. The different emperors have different territory, have different people, have different culture. It always changes. Okay, we finished talking about this panel. So this is the first panel. Dr. Kingsley pointed out there are Song Dynasty characters and the Song Dynasty, but they don't identify all of them. Some identification by them I don't agree with. Okay, I agree with the three. In my paper, I just pointed out, I agree the identification in Dr. Raskam's book.
So you were actually on this, Boulder?
Yeah,
So
This picture is taken by me in person.
okay. So do you notice if they are the same type of depth and the type of erosion you see on those that you marked?
Different, because at this site, it's called a national monument. Okay, if you Google National Monument of the Albuquerque, New Mexico, you can find this site. In this site, there are like tens of thousands, at least thousands of petroglyphs carved in different time period, in different style. First of all, you can tell this boulder, the petroglyphs on this boulder are different from all the other styles of petroglyphs at this same site. And also, mainstream archaeologists have already dated this site. They dated a lot of other styles of petroglyphs. They dated like 100 years old or 1,000 years old. How do they date petroglyphs? Basically, we cannot date petroglyphs. But if it's carved by organic material, they can date the organic material on the petroglyphs. Then they can say, oh, at least this petroglyphs is this old. Or they can just date them by the culture style. They did the anthropological research by comparing the Asian tribe, which because they can date the ruins, they can date the artifacts, because in the ruins they have the horns left. They can date this organic material to say how old the ruin is, and according to
at least when was the last the oldest remain that we can identify, because the site might be much older, and that is a much recent deposit of organic material. But I see your point.
Yes, and also by talking to the tribe leaders. Because basically the shamans or the tribe chiefs knows about of their history. So by interview them, they know, oh, how long this tribe have living on this. But this tribe can at least say, oh, my great grandfather times these petroglyphs are already here. For instance, the researchers talk to the tribe leader. The tribe leader tells them in 1960s that, oh, my grandfather told the petroglyphs already here, right? So they can figure out, oh, they are at least hundreds of years old. Okay, so this style, or at least 1,000 years old. So compared with those petroglyphs at the same site, dated by mainstream archaeologists, like 100 years old or 1,000, those one on this boulder looks obviously older by the weathering, by the level of darkness.
That was my question. Yes.
Yeah, let's scroll down. Let's talk about so this is the first boat. You see, this is the great one. This all the great one means great one. If the arm is like this or arm like this is a great one, not an ordinary person. But if you scroll down, you can see how they depict an ordinary person in Shang Dynasty writing. These are all the character meaning the great one.
I see.
Okay, so this is another boulder carved this petroglyphs at the same site, not far away from that boulder we just talked about. So these two groups circled in blue, also the father's title, the deceased father title. One is this means great, the other is the cross. Right? Same thing. They are all like with one character. This person is circled in blue. Okay, I'm talking about circled in blue. This person is stretched out his body.
It has a cross above it.
A cross, yes. This combination is the first Shang Dynasty's king's title, the deceased father's title. Okay. This title has two characters. One is this great one, the other is a cross one. The cross one has two forms in Song Dynasty. One form is just like a simple cross. The other, if you scroll down to the other one, the other one is a cross circled in a square or in a round in a circle. Okay, so these are two forms of the same character. The meaning, the first Tiangan in ancient Chinese writing. Okay, so his title has these two characters. One is a great one, one is a cross one. So this is why these two group of attributes also his title. I found on another book, but this is very interesting. You can not only see his title on the other border. So the one circled in red, it looks like a capital I, right? Do you know whose title is this? So the capital I in Song Dynasty is the third king's title. So this is two kings' title. The one circled in red is the third king's Song Dynasty. Next to it, the one circled in blue is fourth king title. This is a two consecutive kings title were put together. This is the third king in red, the fourth king in blue. Two consecutive. We will see them put together again and again in another site in Nevada. Exactly the two people. The two people's relationship is brother and the older brother and the younger brother. So in Song Dynasty, in the first age, when the father died, it's not his first son to be the successor. It's his oldest. It's like father died, his brother take his throne. The brother died, the throne goes to his son. Do you understand? So this is the grandpa was a king. Grandpa died. Grandpa's brother, younger brother, took his throne. Then the younger brother died. The grandpa's son became the next. The same thing. Okay?
It's different.
So, it's different. But later they changed. Grandpa died. The grandpa's first son. First son died. The first grandson. But in the early stage, they have this system. They died, not the son. Their brother died. Then it's the son's.
It's the son. I see. And you find these depictions also in China?
Yeah, because I just mentioned the very credible historical book written in the Han Dynasty by the history official. In his book, it literally said, it literally recorded the Song's lineage, Song Dynasty king's lineage is literally recorded in his book. He said, oh, the founder is this person. The founder died, then his older son was the successor. Then the third one is
oh, yes, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm saying, can we find these same symbols in China representing the same thing? That's what I was asking.
We have the same symbol on the oracle bone.
Okay.
In the last capital city of Song Dynasty in China. This is what I do. All the things I use to compare with this attribute are all the writing excavated on the bones. On all the writings characters inscribed on the bones. Those bones were excavated from the last capital city of Song Dynasty in China. We have exactly the same writing inscribed on the bones.
Yeah, that's important. That's why I asked.
Yeah, this is why I can make this compare. So the Song's lineage is not only recorded in our historical book written 2,000 years ago in the Han Dynasty. Also, we excavated tons of oracle bone inscriptions with exactly the same title. Yeah. So you can, if you can scroll down, you can literally see my comparison between the excavated oracle bone inscription and you see, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you see the capital I. This is the excavated inscriptions on the bones in China. We have this inscribed on the bones. Then you have Then there is a text inscribed on the rocks here in America. So upper one is characters or writings inscribed on bones excavated in China. So the picture I took is characters inscribed on the rock here in America. You see they're all, so what are these two? I just explained above. There are two consecutive kings. The one in blue is the fourth king. The one in red, the capital I, is
the third king.
Third king. What's the relationship of these two? The one in yellow is the third one, the third king. The one in blue here is the second king. So the third king was carved next to the fourth king above we just talked about.
Yeah.
Here it's also carved next to his prior emperor. So this king, this capital I, is the king in the middle. He's the third one. So he's not only carved next to the fourth king, his successor, but also carved next to his predecessor, the second king. In blue here. So why I say that the evidence is systematic. So in the first border, we saw the father, the first king's title on top. His son is the sixth king at the bottom. These are relationship is father son. Then we see the third king, the first king were carved together. Then here we see the third king, the second king carved together, right?
And in terms of culture, what you think is the representation? Is it literal? Was it symbolic? Why do you think that they carve these things all over the place here?
Oh, because
is it our today? I was here that people write on trees.
I think why they carve the fourth king. I think they were sent by the reigning king, the living king. It's the sixth king. This is the one at the bottom, on the first border at bottom, right?
Sure.
He has his signature here. He has said, I am the living reigning king here. So I send my missionary here to do the sacrificial offering ceremony, to carve all the kings which is related to me on the rocks, to memorialize them, to worship them. Okay, so this is why all these other kings are in the closest lineage. So the one circled in blue here was his grandpa. The one circled in yellow here was his father's brother. The third king. Then the one circled in red is his father, then himself. This is the relationship of them. And also you can see the third king wasn't not only carved next to the second king, also carved next to the third king, right? The capital I. The capital
and this is scraped. Is this scraped, or does it have any ink, ochres, or anything? Is just scraped on the rock?
Yeah, they just scribed on the rock, just the petroglyphs on the rock here. But when I saw not only the fourth king and his son on the first border we talk about, but also other borders with his grandpa's title next to his uncle's title.
Start to see the whole family.
Yeah, his uncle's title not only carved next to his grandpa, but also if you scroll up, we can see the capital I. Now his ways scroll up a little bit. We go back to this one. Zoom in. See the capital I here is next. Yeah, the capital I here is next to his successor, the fourth king. Okay, right? But the border underneath this is like carved next to his father. So their relationship is the grandpa's younger brother, the grandpa's son, the grandpa's grandson. The grandson was the living reigning king, when he was reigning, he sent those people here to do the ceremony to cover his previous kings. These three kings are all his predecessor king, in the closest relationship with him. His father's younger brother, his grandpa, all the three kings before him, in the closest lineage. This is why only this king's title can be seen, because there are 600 years Song Dynasty, like how many kings? 30 or 30 something, 50 something kings.
But do you think this is not a single voyage? There are several voyages to this place, and if so, do you think there was some kind of trade going on from copper, for example? That copper was very much extracted from these areas in the Americas in those times, or some say they were.
I think for these petroglyphs talked in my paper, they were done by a single voyage, because if it was different voyage, they must be sent by different kings. Different kings, they care about different
things. Yeah.
Because if this king, like 50 years later, send again, okay, another voyage, they came over 50 years. Why they carve those titles? They can have their reigning king's title, or the reigning king's father's title, or the reigning king's grandpa's title. Why they always have these four, with these four? Because it's related to them most closely, right? If it's carved, if this is another voyage must be sent by another king, another reigning king, another living king. Another living king come here, he will cover his father's title, his grandpa's title. He wouldn't cover the king's title like 50 years earlier or 100 years earlier. It doesn't make any sense.
I see.
This is how I date them, because you have like a British king. In Henry's time, he sent his voyage over there, he must cover his father's title, his grandpa's title. He wouldn't have like an emperor 200 years ago. Maybe he can cover the founder, because the founder is the most important and most significant person to them, right? But they didn't cover the founder. They only covered this king. This king happened to be his grandpa, his uncle, his father, and himself. It makes sense, right? This is how I did them, because it's just common sense. In which king's reign they send them, then they carve. It depends on which king's titles are left on the rocks here. I don't think the king, like in other time, would also cover this four king's title. Why he didn't cover his father's title?
Sure, I just asked because you said it go through 600 years, so it might be more than just one. That's why I asked. That's why I asked.
Maybe more just one, but I don't see any evidence. I don't.
Sure.
Because I've traveled all over the Southwest. I've been in a lot of places in person. If I cannot get there because some sites is very remote, very hard. You cannot drive there. It's very hard. But I try to get the videos made by local people, because a lot of people made a video about this site. I just see if there is any clue, So I can see, I just already screened the petroglyphs in the American Southwest, except for the two sites mentioned in my paper. I don't see any systematic Chinese writing.
Yeah, just here.
Systematically, just these two sites. And these two sites only about this four king. These two sites, one in Nevada, one in New Mexico, they all cover this four king's title. No any other king's title, which means they all sent. The voyage was all sent by the same reigning king. Otherwise, why he didn't order them to cover other king's title?
And for those that don't understand American geography, are those two sites accessible by sea, or they had to travel inland?
Inland, Nevada. So California is by the west coast, right?
Yes.
Next to California, Nevada and Arizona, and then New Mexico. So there is Arizona between Nevada and New Mexico.
So they travel a lot inland to create
they
this.
they travel a lot inland, but the farthest they reach is like New Mexico. So I don't see any similar style Chinese writing east of the New Mexico. So I guess they came over the sea or along the coast. Then they
landed two times. It's what you're saying. They landed two times, one here and the other one into the other side.
Yeah, but at least they carved 2 times. Maybe they traveled all over the place.
Sure, of course.
They only decided to make this carving at these 2 sites, right?
They made 2 offerings, 2 sacrifices.
Yeah, maybe the farthest they can reach back then is in New Mexico. So they said, okay, this is another end of our journey, of our trip. So let's carve this something to memorize.
Sure, I see. Makes sense.
Yes. So this is 4 kings titles I discovered in the New Mexico site. Exactly these 4 kings. So remember, the 2nd king, the 3rd king, the 4th king, and the 6th king. 6th king was the reigning king. I think during his reign, he sent a voyage here to cover the kings prior to him. Okay, this is my analysis. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so let's.
Wanna go down or up?
Yeah, go down. We just go through very quickly. We talked about this already. Okay, this boulder I just mentioned on the excavated oracle bone inscriptions. There are only 2 things recorded. One is the reigning king's sacrificial offering activity. The other is the divination. What's the divination? Divination is the king ordered the shaman to heat up the turtle bone. After being heated up, the bone cracks. Then when it cracks, it has some pattern of cracks. Then the shaman will read the pattern of some, according to them, some pattern means auspicious, some pattern means bad luck. So exactly. So why I think these were done by Song Dynasty people for sure. We not only see for Song Dynasty king's titles, we also see their cultural trait, sacrificial offering on the first board. Here we see the divination, because what's carved on this board, the one circled in blue is a Song Dynasty character, meaning auspicious. The one circled in yellow looks like a capital T is a Song Dynasty character, meaning manifest. So which means they did some divination here at this site. Then the result shows auspicious. So they carved these characters and the result of the divination shows auspicious, good luck. So they carved it here. Okay. So all these petroglyphs at this site not only related to 4 kings titles, but also tells us, shows, embodies Song Dynasty cultural features, divination, sacrificial offering. Everything match Song Dynasty perfectly. Not only the king's titles, but also their culture. The most outstanding Song Dynasty culture feature are sacrificial offering and divination, because all the things recorded in this inscription excavated in their last capital city in China about divination and sacrificial offering. What we see here on the rocks in America, we literally see characters related to sacrificial offering, characters related to divination, right? And characters related to their king's titles. Not only one king titles, not only two king's titles. So it's a consecutive 4 king's titles.
Sure,
It's
sure.
a close lineage. It's a close relationship.
And what do your peers say about it? Your peers, your academic colleagues, what do they say about this?
I don't hear directly from the scholars who specializes in this. I know they read my paper. They said nothing, which means they have nothing to say to oppose me. Okay, but I also have some scholars who I know they majored in history, or they majored in Asian Chinese literature, or they are also the research like us. So they published or post a lot of articles on Chinese social media talking about their opinion, their study, their research on Song Dynasty or the Asian dynasty. They read my paper too. They said, "Oh, I didn't believe Song Dynasty people reached America, but after because they also do the research on Song Dynasty, Dynasty's characters. After reading my paper, they said, "Oh, you convinced me. Your paper convinced me." They did.
Oh, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and also from ordinary people, if they have the college education, okay. Everybody said, "Oh, yeah, your paper convinced me." The system is because it's the evidence is so strong, so solid. We cannot deny it because this is not only one side. There are 2 sides. These 2 sides can verify each other because they're exactly 2 sides about the same 4 king's title. So remember the king's titles here. Then we're going to talk about another side in Nevada.
Sure. On this paper still?
Yes, still on this paper because this paper is all about Song Dynasty. Okay, here. Can you zoom?
In which one?
The picture 8.
Picture 8?
No, the one on the left corner. Yeah, 8. You can see the.
Oh, A. I was hearing 8. That's why I was looking for the numbers.
8. Picture 8 is all the authentic Song Dynasty characters carved on the bones excavated from the last capital city. So the characters are all the same characters in different forms. The character meaning king. Okay, king. You see, this is like 3. Basically, the structure of this character is 3 horizontal lines with 1 vertical line, right?
Sure.
This is the structure of this character, meaning king. Sometimes the bottom line is a little bit like
yes, like an anchor. Like an
anchor. So this is the structure of the
symbol.
this character. So in the site in Nevada, so you can make it smaller. We can see all of these petroglyphs here. Yeah, in the site in Nevada, I saw lots of king. You know, the same character, 3 horizontal line with 1 vertical line. This is structure, king. Not only king, the king is next to their title. Can you zoom on in the picture B?
Sure.
B.
B is this one.
Yeah, you see the king, and next to it, what's this?
The I.
Capital I. What did we see? The capital I in the Albuquerque in New Mexico. The capital I is the second king's title. Oh no, the 3rd king's title. The capital I. The next to the king's title is exactly the character king, which means just like the British King Henry. You see Henry's name. You see the king, which means King Henry. So this character pronounced as Ren. In Chinese, it's pronounced as Ren Wang. Translated is in English is King Ren. The capital I is pronounced as Ren. So this means King Ren. Always remember the capital I. Okay, next to it, let's take a look at the picture E. You see up on top of the king character. What's this? The person on top of it. You see?
Here.
No, on top of it. Yes. You see the cross circled by the
square?
there.
Yeah.
You see the two? One is this great, means great. The person is scratched next to the cross, on top of the cross. A little go
here,
up.
Here.
This is the person stretch his arm, right?
Right.
This is the person stretch his arm. This character means great. Next to it it's another character. The cross circled by a square. So what's the combination of this character? It stands for the third Song Dynasty king. I just explained
exactly
earlier.
You did
Right. The two characters. One is a cross. The other is the all-arched person, which means the great one.
You've seen several characters of that.
Yeah, you see this the third Song Dynasty king's title here again with exactly the character king. Right? So in Chinese, this three character is 大甲王. Wang meaning king. 大甲 means the third Song Dynasty king's title. 大甲. 大 means great. 甲 is the cross. Okay, so this is another king's title with literally the character king next to his title. So again, it's verified. They are not some random characters or random patriots. They are king's title because you have exactly the character king next to them. If, for example, you have the records, say, Henry was the third king of the British Empire.
Sure.
You not only see the character Henry, you literally see the character king next to Harry, King Harry, which indicate this is the king's title. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And do you think the other ones are somewhat?
These are all made by different. You see the style. Then these are very deep carved, but the next to them very shallow carved, and also these look like very solemn, but next to them it's very random.
I see.
You see the difference? Because it's very hard because they have like tens of thousands of different petroglyphs.
Yes, I see. There are lots of them.
A lot of different petroglyphs carved by later people next to them. You have to. So I took the picture. I put it on my computer. Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in. So you don't know how much work I did. Okay, so next. You see, because they come I just said they come very random. Sometimes left to right, sometimes in this. So if you see from this direction, this is also to look like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you pay attention to the left one, you see the bottom line. If you look this way, the bottom line is a little bit like in the curvy, exactly same. It's the bottom line is not very, very flat, right? So there are two characters, right? Pay attention to the left one. In the yellow circle, the left one. Let's pay attention.
The yellow circle.
No, sorry. Blue. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Am I seeing here someone on his knees again?
No, this is just the crack. All the. So pay attention to the left one. Can you circle in your heart? Yeah. So if you look at it this way, pay attention to the curvy one.
Yeah. You have that's
exactly same as the Song Dynasty character. I just mentioned in some forms the bottom line is not straight. It's in the curvature.
It's like an anchor at the end. Yes.
Yeah, it's like an anchor, like something in a little bit. How to say that? Right.
I see your point.
Yeah. Okay, so let's zoom out. Okay, did you see the cross? Did you see the capital I on the right? On the right.
Here.
Yeah, capital I again. Then the cross. Beneath it is the cross, right? So next to them is two diamond shape. So is their grandpa. The grandpa's title. The grandpa's title depicted in sometimes in the small circle, sometimes in the small diamond shape. That's
Okay.
three kings titles. Grandpa is the diamond shape. Then the grandpa's brother is the capital I. Then the son is a cross. So why I say it's the sixth dynasty, the grandson. When he was the reigning king, he sent the voyages here. He carved his grandpa's title is the diamond shape. His uncle, the capital I. His father, the cross.
The cross. Yeah.
Same three kings prior to him. Exactly the same as three kings in the New Mexico side.
Yeah. And this is also a king symbol?
This is also so I think so the king, Chinese character, the king, we see it's three horizontal line with one vertical line, right? Here, this word, I just I speculated this is four horizontal line with one vertical line. This one. So I think this one is also another form of the Asian character meaning king. So this is king, the different form of king. So because
so you have three here. And you have three here.
We have three king's titles on the right. We have three character meaning king.
King on the left. Yeah.
On the left. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So on this particular border, either king's titles or literally the character king. Three character king in different, a little bit different forms. Three king on the left, then three kings title on the right. They are grandpa's older son, grandpa's younger son. The relationship. Oh no, sorry. The diamond shape is grandpa. The capital I is grandpa's younger brother. Then the cross is the grandpa's son.
Sure.
Okay, this is their relationship. You have these three kings title. You have three character, literally meaning king, next to them on this border.
And is this another kneeling?
I think this is all either a cracks or some you know. As I told you earlier, there are some graffitis or some
all over. Okay.
Younger.
It's hard to tell.
Because if they were made like 3,400 years ago, how many people visited this?
Yeah,
book?
of course.
How many people in history time carved something else next to them, right?
Right.
So this is very hard to make this research because you have to figure out
Sure.
what are the this time
What isn't. Yeah. So and here, and I hope I'm learning. And here you have the sacrificial vessel next to the king.
Yeah, I found the image next to the character king on the left. It looks like a wine vessel. When we do the ceremony, we have the ceremony vial contained in the vial container. It looks like very much like the unearthed ancient bronze vial vessel. So I speculate they have the king, they have the vial vessel, because when you have vial vessel, which means you doing the sacrificial offering, you're offering vial to this king. Yeah, I think this is a image on the left meaning, but I didn't talk about in my paper because it's too much. If I involve everything, I can give more information here, you know. So Okay, just scroll up a little bit. Let's take a look at picture B and E. B and E. Okay, so do we notice that on the side in New Mexico, on the border I just mentioned, they carved the third king next to the fourth king, the capital I, next to the third king, 大甲, so here they appeared at the same site in Nevada again. Exactly these two king in a consecutive lineage. One is the fourth king, one is the third king. The capital I is the third king. The two characters, one is meaning great, one is a cross. This stands for the fourth king.
For the king.
So they not only appeared in the site in New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, but also here in Nevada, exactly these two kings, with the character king literally next to them.
It's very compelling, that's for sure.
Then go up. Let's take a look at the picture D here. You see king, right? What's the character beneath the king?
The cross.
Yeah, means cross is the king's title. Then called Jia in Chinese language, King Jia here again. Then what's the one on top on the left?
So you have the kneeling position again, and you have the
you have this capital I again.
Yeah.
Then you have this vertical line, full vertical line next to him. This is another king, another form of king I just explained. Sometimes they have three horizontal line with one vertical line. Sometimes they have, four horizontal line with one vertical, all meaning king in different forms. Maybe four lines means this king is superior because the capital I was the third king, so he has four lines next to him. Then the cross is the fourth king's title, so he only has the three vertical line king next to him. Circled in blue is the three vertical.
Yeah, this one has four.
Yeah, four, because his position was superior because he was the predecessor because he was third one. The cross one was the fourth one. It makes sense. Yeah. Then they were put together again here on this panel.
Yeah, right? Someone had a field day on this panel.
Yeah, same as they were put together at the New Mexico site. The New Mexico site, you say they were put together.
Sure.
The capital I was put together with the cross. Here they were put together again. Not only they were put again, they have a king, literally a character king next to them, indicating they are not some ordinary character. They are king's title because they literally have the character king next to them. Right? Okay, let's scroll down. Yeah, this is also them, the third king, the first king, 大甲. Then up is the capital I. Capital I was the third king. Okay, right? They are in the. Okay, let's go down. We can see them together again and again repeatedly in the Nevada. The same thing. This is the cross sign. I don't want to. Yeah, we've talked about them already. So scroll down. See how many capital I here?
Eyes can you find? Yeah.
Yeah. Can you scroll? Zoom in. Let's take a look at the picture A. What do you notice?
A.
Yeah, A. Yeah, the first one on the left. They have a crown on this cap.
Yeah.
You see the crown? They decorate a crown on this character. Again, tell you, this is not an ordinary character. This is a king. He has a crown on his head here. And also they carved it like a seal. Right? Like a king's seal.
Yeah, it is.
Seal. Because they didn't carve the middle part. They carved the like a relief,
Exactly.
This is the seal style. Who had seal back then? Only the king. So also not only the seal style, but also they literally have a crown.
The crown on top of it, yeah.
Right? So they symbolize it, another crown. See picture B. They have another crown on top of this character, right? So they say, oh, they're just some random Native American symbols or graffitis. Why you put a crown on the graffitis? You have outlines to make it outstanding. You put ground. You have, you see, picture C. If you zoom in, they have also on top. They have a crown on this character. They have the small bar line to decorate the bottom, right?
Yeah.
They have decorations for these characters, which means they are king's title. Why they put crown? Why they have decoration? Why they make this character look so solemn and so complicated? Because they are something significant. They are king's titles. So can say picture E. Picture E. So we have to look horizontally. Okay, here. Okay, this way. Then if you look this way, is this another capital I, the third king's title, right? Look this way. Picture E, picture. Oh, no, you don't rotate it. Okay, can you rotate to another direction? I need the short one on top, the longer one.
The longer one on top? Okay, let me see.
No, the short one on top. Yes. If you see this way, this is another capital. But some people, some Western people, all the mainstream archaeologists say, oh, this is H, and in English alphabet H, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, H. Okay, it's an H. But if you are depicting an H, you have to have these two bars at the same length. But here, literally, the one on top is shorter than the one.
Yeah, and it's flat here and it's kind of round in here.
It's same as the style carved in Song Dynasty.
Yeah.
Pictures. They have the flat one on top. They have the longer one and the curvy one at the bottom. Right? It's not an edge. It's literally the Song Dynasty character.
Because and the age was invented much later on. So
yeah, obviously. And one thing is the edge, they are not symmetrical, right? One shorter, one line, one is straight, one have the curve at the bottom. If you pay attention to what I provided of this character in Song Dynasty, you can see sometimes they have the curvy line, upright line.
No, it's not an H. Whatever, even if you are wrong.
Yeah, you have one
it's
side
not an
longer,
H.
right? Yeah, it's not an H because you have one side is shorter, one side line, one side is straight, one side is a little bit curvy, right? Let's take a look at Song Dynasty character. You know what I mean. Screw up.
Right.
Yeah, not here. Maybe screw down. Screw down. This is the character king. Let's come to the character. Oh, we have to go up to the New Mexico side. At that side, I presented.
No, this is the open arms.
Yeah, here. Okay, picture. Yeah, picture A. You see, sometimes they have the one line longer, then they have this curvy, right? At the bottom. You know? So
tell me, this is character 11,438?
Yeah, they have the database. This is the code number of this character in the database. Yeah. So I give people all the original information. Everyone can verify on your own. I have which website, which database, the code number, the character number, the everything you can verify on your own. This is why people should follow our work, because
No, but this is wrong. You are wrong here. This is not Egypt. This is not Chinese. This is football, and this is handball right here. Or volley. It's his volley here.
This is the grand pass title. Grand pass title with one character. The outreach means great, the great one. The other one, sometimes they depict it as a small circle, sometimes a small square, sometimes a diamond shape. These are all the grand pass title. This is why I told you the diamond shape.
Yeah, the diamond shape. Yeah.
Small square or the small is the grand pass title.
Yeah, but you see how you can make a confusion, because this is the guy playing football for everyone. So.
Yeah, this is why when we talk about something,
context.
In the context. If I only see a picture like this, I wouldn't say, oh, this is a second son and that's king's title. No way for me to see that. But if you have this capital I next to him, if you have the cross sign, his son's title, if you have this capital I, his successor, his brother's title next to him, and appeared on the same border at the same site, and also his grandson's title literally there. Also, you have the sacrificial offering characters, you have the divination characters, meaning auspicious. Yeah. You put them together, make them the systematic evidence, right? Some people argue with, oh, this is just a random person playing football. I only see this one, I'm stupid to link it to the king's title. Yeah, but I see a group of evidence.
I'm terrible in mathematics, but I know that the laws of probability, when you have 1, you have 1% chance of being right. When you have 2, you have much more. But when you have 5 or 6 together, it's the other way around. It's the chance of you being wrong is there, but it's starting to be very small.
Yeah, and especially when you have 2 different sites. Yeah. One is in New Mexico, one is in Nevada, all depict exactly the same 4 king's titles there. Exactly. Right? I just this is the capital I here in New Mexico. Then we see tons of the capital I, the cross in another site. In Nevada, right? Yeah. This is why I would like people to pay attention. There are connections. This is not a random single evidence, random single proof. There are systematic evidence in context. When we analyze things, we always analyze things in context. Without context, it's meaningless to talk about anything.
So I'm curious, what did Nikki thought of your presentation?
When I first went to this site, I didn't pay attention.
I mean, in your last, you did one of these podcasts with Nikki Anna Jones, right?
Nikki. Well, I didn't talk about too much detail with Nikki, but I basically roughly introduced some border. I talked more. Some border I just skipped.
I didn't see it all, but I saw you showing some of this symbols.
Yeah, I didn't talk about this one. Maybe I talked a little bit, not too much detail like we're talking about them right now. It takes like 4 hours for us to put everything mentioned in my papers, because they're too much.
Yeah, well, anyone that grabs your paper and looks at 111 pages, wow, this is a lot of work put together. So it's not easy.
Why I understand it's not for everybody. It's for people who are interested. At least they have the patience to read the paper, right? To know what I'm talking about at first. Or for the people who working in academia. It's not for everyone. So this is why I understand this. If you are doing something,
This is very specialized. You have to recognize
Yeah,
this is very
you are
specialized.
specialized. You don't expect everybody to pay attention or to understand you, because to understand my research, first of all, somebody should be very familiar with the petroglyphs in America. You know, somebody must say, oh, a lot of petroglyphs, they say, oh, this style, that style. Oh, sometimes a lot of different style will put together on the same panel. They understand this in the first place. Okay, then this person has to have the knowledge of Chinese writing, or at least have the willingness to learn. You know, so this is why it's very hard to talk the details to somebody who doesn't care, who doesn't pay attention, who doesn't care to learn.
Yeah, it demands, your research demands
You
that
know,
attention.
what's his name? He makes a lot of videos. He's from the mainstream. I think he's a professor at a college. Miano, Dr. Miano. He said, why you have to prove every single petroglyphs at the same site are all Song Dynasty. Then you can say they are all Song Dynasty. I think obviously you know nothing about American petroglyphs, because at the same time, sometimes there are tons of petroglyphs. There are thousands or tons of different petroglyphs in different styles, made by different tribes, made by different cultures during the thousands of years history, right? Why I have to prove every single one is Song Dynasty characters to be able to prove this group are Song Dynasty characters? Doesn't make sense.
What he's making is making it impossible for you to prove it. That's what he's making.
Yeah. Why do I have? Because he has no knowledge of the petroglyphs. If he has the knowledge, he knows, oh, at the same site, even on the same border, you can see different styles of petroglyphs made by different people from different times.
Sure.
If you understand this, you won't raise a stupid question like that, you know? People understand this, they will raise a stupid question like this. You have to prove every petroglyph is Song Dynasty. Then you are limited to prove these are Song Dynasty. Why? Because they were made, obviously, they were made by different people from different time periods, right? Why I have to prove all? It's ridiculous. So why they raise question like this? Because they have zero knowledge of the petroglyphs in the American Southwest. If this is a person who travel a lot to the Southwest, have seen a lot of petroglyphs already in person, he wouldn't raise a stupid question like that, because he already knew there are different types of petroglyphs.
Sure. Look, academics, especially the most conservative ones, don't like change. They don't like change, and they don't like news in their world. They like to keep talking about the old news. The old news are what matters. It's the same thing that's been repeated for 3 or 4 generations. That's what matters, because they all speak the same language. They all understand each other, and they like to repeat. And they repeat and repeat the same things to one another. So when you present something like this that demands extreme attention, extreme devotion and research in order to build what you have built here, I understand why they don't want to look at it, because the history is settled. It's all settled. We know all the things now. We don't need any new intervention.
It's already settled. We don't need any challenge. We don't need any change. We are settled.
We sunk the boats. No boats.
Yeah, and one thing is their mindset, right? We are the authority. We stand for the authority. Well, our narrative of the history stands for the narrative, stands for the legit information. And on the other side, I can say nobody has the ability to do this research, because first of all, he has to know the knowledge of Chinese writing, Chinese history, Chinese culture well. Secondly, this person has to be very familiar with American petroglyphs. You know how hard sometimes to get myself in the site in person. I have to drive 3 days to the town.
Hmm.
Then from the town to the site, sometimes there is no paved road. They are all dirt road, like this. I have to drive half day from the town to the site in the middle of nowhere. Then in most cases, I was there alone. Then after I take the picture, I see them in person. I have to drive a couple of hours on the dirt road back to the town. You don't know how much I take, how much time, money, energy, and the courage, because sometimes the site is in the middle of
if you're
in the
doing it
desert.
alone, if you're
Yeah,
doing it
I
alone,
do it alone by myself. So my friend told me this work you have done should be the work done by a group with the government money, but you've done it on your own, at your own expense. But people don't know. People just they just deny you, question you so easily. They don't know how much needed to finish this work. First of all, you have to have the knowledge. Secondly, you have to take the action. You have to drive 3 days
yeah.
and a half just to get
Look,
your.
I can tell you one thing. If
Mhm.
all the plans that we are making goes well, this is one of the works that I will want to have its own documentary, because we're already having a team of directors, people with cameras, people with production companies. We are just lacking on the means to do it, and the fact that the Institute needs to be registered as a non-profit. As soon as we have that, we can ask for grants, and they have to reply to the grants independently of what the grants intend to investigate. So it's all a matter of getting the right conditions. But this is one of the things that we wish to cover. So we'll do our best for you to be on top of this research and push it further. So you have to push it down their throats if necessary. But I think it deserves attention because it's very peculiar. It's very it's a niche in the historical record that only you looked at.
Yeah,
So
I think there are archaeologists, there are scholars here in America who specializes in ancient Chinese writing, right? They're also anthropologists. I think if they pay attention to the petroglyphs, they would have done the work I am doing already, because
I'm
they.
not sure because they risk their careers. I'm not sure.
But first of all, they don't pay attention to petroglyphs. They don't have the mindset. Petroglyphs are precious information left by Asians in prehistorical time. If you want to figure out things that happened in prehistorical time, you have to look into the petroglyphs, because there is no book left for us to refer to back then.
Oh, they're similarly significant. They are very, very significant. For instance, I give you an example. You have a place in Utah that has hundreds of recesses carved into the rock. So this might have started as natural recesses that then was carved to make them parabolic. Okay, and this is one of the several sites in the whole world that we find cliffs, the face of the cliff that faces the valley or the plains, the plains. They enlarge these cavities on the rock, making these parabolics, and test it for sound. So what they found out is that a person seated in front of one of these parabolical carved surface on the cliff could speak to someone beyond the horizon. So if you are a tribe and you are beyond sight and you want to warn that you are coming or you are in danger or something, you just need to speak. You don't need to scream. You just need to speak in the direction of the cliff. And the person that is seated on that parabolical area of the cliff will hear you as if he is beside you. So this is a means of communication. The funny thing is, they only found petroglyphs. There are hundreds of them, but only about 6 or 7 work. The petroglyphs are only on those that work. So
Which very, very likely the petroglyphs are markers of this place. Just
exactly.
like some cases, petroglyphs are markers of solstice day. The sun shed light on this place, then they make the petroglyphs as a marker.
Exactly, and the same in France, the same in the UK. The UK and France have a similar site like this. Spain has another, and the petroglyphs or the images are only on those that work. Those that don't work don't have images.
So this is why I disagree with people say, oh, the petroglyphs are just graffitis or random carving. No, totally wrong. In most majority of cases, I can say at least 95% of cases, they are all something meaningful, something significant, or either the tribal symbols, or the markers of astronomical phenomena, or the markers of calendar, or the markers of the special place, a unique place like the solar enlargement spore, right?
Sure.
So all like this case in my paper, they are king's titles, right? So in majority of the cases, petroglyphs are all significant symbols or characters or meanings or tokens to the ancients.
Yeah.
So this is why they are so important. Why this is so important to do research on them. If we want to figure out what happened during the prehistorical time, we have to look into petroglyphs for sure. And there are tons of them in all over the world.
We have to include them. There's no other way. And
you know, the mainstream academia, they just do very basic work on petroglyphs. They don't dive deep. They just like, oh, this type of style might be made by this group of people during this period of time. This is just the work they
but if you pick up that big boulder that we saw first, if you pick that one up and carry it to the university, they will give it their extreme attention. But they'll not travel 3 days by car and then by dirt road and then by foot in an area alone to do that research. There will be only 1 or 2 guys that will do that. So
yeah, so I don't
aren't
know.
there pumas or something around there? Pumas or cougars or where you stand? Because you are completely alone.
This site is not in the middle of nowhere, but it's right at the suburb of Albuquerque. Albuquerque is kind of the biggest city in New Mexico.
Yeah.
It's just at the suburb, and it's also protected by the mainstream archaeology department. Some sites they've already protected, they were already well known by the mainstream. Some sites just in the middle of nowhere, left there alone, nobody pay attention. So how do I search these sites? Sometimes I search on Google Maps. Sometimes I go there. I ask local people, do you know any petroglyph site? Because some sites only locals know about them.
Exactly.
I talk to people. Can you show me? Can you show me on the map? How can I get there?
And they need to trust you, otherwise they won't tell you where it is because they think you might do some harm to it.
This is why I went to Zuni reservation. They welcome me because I look like them. But if I was a white woman, they drove me away. Because when I went to Southern Utah, I met an anthropologist, and she retired, but she was a professor teaching at a college, before she got retired. She said, you are so lucky. I tried a couple of times, to go to the Zuni tribe, the reservation. They drove me every time, they drove me away. But when I go there, they took me to their secret sites. So they took me to sites when that are not allowed outsiders. I'm lucky, yes.
Yeah, but it's intriguing because there is some sort of resemblance between certain tribes and Asian people. So
yeah, definitely. I see some petroglyphs related to the common symbol talked in my another paper, like the universal symbol. Some are related to South America, like Inca. What's this? Maya or what was the Asian culture in Peru?
You have Olmec, Inca, Maya.
Maya. Yeah, you can obviously see the cultural connection. The very same similar petroglyphs you can see in Inca or in Maya. You can also see in the Native American reservations sites. So there are definitely links everywhere. They all not all only linked to the universal symbol you can see all over the world. Also some symbol you can see in Maya or Inca culture. So this tells us Asian people mind all over the place, just like we do nowadays.
Sure.
They do it fast because we have planes, right? They do it slowly, but they still have this connection, communication all over the world back then, thousands of years ago.
I agree with you.
Okay, so let's finish this one.
So let's go down here. Let me go back to the image.
Yeah, go back to the Nevada side.
So keep going down.
Yeah, down. This is I've already talked about.
Okay.
You see here. Oh, this one is very interesting. This for the. I just talked about them, right? These are three kings titles.
Yeah, the diamond shape.
Yeah, diamond shape is a grandpa. Capital I is grandpa son. Capital cross is another son, and the character king. And so the two circled in yellow are the cross.
Yeah.
Circled by square, right? All related to king's titles on the character king. So let's go to this one. So this one is so this is why I say I have systematic evidence. So far we have 4 king's titles in the closest lineage relationship, right? We have literally the character meaning king. We have the character related to their cultural feature, domination, sacrificial offering. Here we have another character meaning royal, empire, imperial, royal. This is what's the meaning.
So it's the same 3 lines.
Yeah.
Something
So
on top.
So let's take a look at the Song Dynasty character on top. Yeah, this is the authentic Song Dynasty character inscribed in the bones. Okay, excavated from the last capital city of Song Dynasty in China. So basically, the structure of this character is on top is a person's head with lines going through. Right? Why they depict as royal or empire? Only royal or empire person has a light on the top, which means this one is an important one. The empire, the royal person. So at the bottom, it's literally the character, meaning king. Three horizontal line with 1 vertical line, right? Yeah. So this is you see the structure of this character. On top, a person's head with lines.
Yeah.
At the bottom is the character, meaning king. Also, you can understand that this is the bottom depicting a person with arms stretched, right?
Stretched, yes.
And also, you can take it as the character meaning king, the character Wang meaning king. So if you scroll down, is there some other forms? Yeah, this is also all of this character are the authentic character carved on the bones excavated in China. We can see literally upper part is the person's head with 3 lines, sometimes more lines coming out from his head. The lower part is the character
that we've seen before, the 3 lines.
Yeah, before, meaning king. So this character in ancient Chinese, in Song Dynasty, literally means royal, empire. Okay, so we not only have the character king, we have another character meaning emperor, royal, in the same place next to this Song Dynasty king's titles at the same site in Nevada. Okay, let's say more. Next is their surname. Yeah, this one. Picture A, all the character on the bones excavated, carved on the bones excavated from the last camp city in China. We can see the structure of this word. It's like a utensil. This utensil have two legs at the bottom. This is a vessel. Okay, a vessel with two legs, and on top they have a couple of vertical line, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5, but this is the structure of this character. 2 legs at the bottom, some vertical bars.
Does this symbolize the smoke of the offering?
It's very look like they are doing some offering with a vessel, right? With a 2-leg vessel.
Yeah.
There's something coming out from the
vessel, yeah.
Yeah, from vessel. It looks like this way. Okay, so this is their surname, the Sun King's surname. They have their title, they have their surname. Do you understand that?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. For example, what's the surname of the British king? Their first name, the Charles, Henry. They have also their last name, family name.
Oh, Windsor, right? No.
Okay, this is like a Windsor of a British royal name. Okay, so we have the capital I, we have the cross. They are all their title, their king's title, but not their surname. Here we are talking about their surname. So okay, so picture B is the patrons exactly at the same side. Scroll down a little bit. Let's take a look at the patron. You see the structure. It's like a vessel.
Yeah.
They have 2 legs, but
this layer flacked off, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, fell off. This chopped out. So you still can see this is a vessel with 2 legs on the left, the other leg missing. Then you have the 4 or 5 more bars coming out from the part, right? This is exactly their family name. So you have 4 king's titles in the consecutive lineage. Then they were put together, put next to each other. You literally see a lot of king character meaning king. You also see the character meaning royal impact. You also see their family name here. Why? So this is why I think I present systematic. This is not a coincidence. The evidence is too compelling.
Yeah, it's too much. It is.
It's too much, right? It's not only title. Next to the title, you literally see the character meaning king, 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 right? The 3 horizontal line with 1 vertical line. You also see the character, the lights coming through his head.
I think that the most difficult thing for people to realize what you're saying is that this is not arranged in some elegant form. They are all scattered. Some are laying down, some are staying upright, some are drawing on some way, some are drawing on some other way. And people are used to consistency, to see harmony. And in here, they are all scattered on the same place, but they are scattered.
No, that's not true. For the Nevada side, these king's titles, all these characters related to them, are all carved on the most. When they go there, you can easily spot this panel. They are carved the king's title all on best spots places. Okay. Yeah, all these are on the most best spots in that place. If you are facing this canyon, they have this panel facing you. They have this panel on this most outstanding spot carved this king's title.
Oh, you can see all of them standing on one place.
No, some on this panel, some on. In the middle is a canyon. So at the gate of the canyon, at the entrance canyon, they have 2 panels, two huge panels. On the left, they have this king title. But
what I'm saying is, if you standing on one place, you can see the 2 panels.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
If you are standing in front of this canyon, at the entrance of this canyon, there are two panels, one panel on left, one panel on right. You can literally see the very outstanding.
Okay, so it's two billboards that it's not a hidden place. It's a place of honor. Let's call it like that.
Yeah, it's a place they just show you we are there.
Yeah.
Just catch your attention.
Okay, we don't get this. We don't get that image from that idea from the images. It seems that it's scattered. So you have the first rock that had the three different.
They are scattered in different places, but all in the outstanding spots.
Spots. Okay, I see your point.
Okay, sometimes. Some of them on the two panels at the entrance. Sometimes you can see a very single boulder. It can catch your attention. There is only one character, like their surname or like the character meaning logo on them, or only one cross sign on them. So they all put these characters on the
visible places.
Yeah, on the visible spots. This is another. I just mentioned the ancient Chinese calendar system. They have 10 Tiangan, 12 days combined together. This is six combination. So this is one character of the 10 Tiangan. 10 Tiangan was very important to ancient Chinese. So this is why the Song Dynasty kings took 10 Tiangan as their king's titles. So these characters, not only the characters in our ancient calendar system, but also the king's titles, because they were very significant to ancient Chinese people. This is why I have a theory. Why you see the cross sign in our ancient king Song Dynasty's title, you also see the cross sign as a universal symbol all over the world. Because in the beginning, we were all the same origin. We all were all the same origin. We all take these secret symbols. Then later on, it carried by the Song Dynasty. But this inherited from the ancient time. This cross symbol is very significant. So Song Dynasty king took it as their idol. This is why you see the cross. It's not only the universal significant sign, but also in the part of the king's title, because the significance of this symbol. Yeah. Because we come from the same origin, these symbols are all important to the Asian cultures. So later on, the Song Dynasty took the cross as their title.
Sure, and I'm sure if you ask most people that are not aware of these things, even in general terms, will say that the cross, no matter its shape, is Christian. So they don't understand that the cross exists further back in time, way back in time, before it's being a Christian symbol. In fact, that's why the Christians adopted the cross, because it's already a symbol before that happened.
Same thing. Christian took the cross as their symbol. Song Dynasty king took the cross as their title.
Exactly.
Thing, all because of its significance. Mm-hmm. All because of it comes long before. From the prehistorical time, the cross was already a very significant symbol to all the Asian cultures. Okay, so this A is characters excavated.
I've seen the blue one before in one of the other images.
Yeah, the blue one stands for the special utensil, special bowl used for the ceremony. So this is this one is also a significant symbol, stands for the past kings. They have this symbol stands for the past kings. So when they Song Dynasty, the reigning king, the reigning king was doing the ceremony, they have these symbols, because these symbols either used in the ceremony as a vessel, as a special vessel, or either stands for what they are offering, who they are offering. So this is basically two significant characters related to sacrificial offering.
And
So-
and the
And
two are
yeah, next to it, you can see the king's titles, the capital I, right? The king beneath the capital I, this is two significant Song Dynasty characters related to sacrificial offering. So they put these two characters underneath the third king's title, which means they are doing something, memorizing him, or doing something ceremony or the sacrificial offering. So
and
this is why
is this the symbol that you showed before, or no?
this is no, this is not. This is connected to the other part. This is, I think, carved maybe later because it's thinner and
Different,
shallow.
yeah.
Yeah, different. So yeah, let's scroll down.
This is the symbols that we just saw.
Yeah, I think they just put it randomly in different direction, right? To the left, to the right, up, down. Oh, this is very interesting part. So why I think my research is very important, especially this paper, because this paper not only show the world the most ancient Song Dynasty characters were not found in China, but found here in America. Why? Because I said the last capital city were excavated of Song Dynasty were excavated in China, but the last capital city and all the inscriptions, all the characters, writings carved on the bones excavated, it's only dated 1200,000 years ago, about 1200 BCE, which is about 3,200 years ago, according to the records in the bone on the bones. But the king's lineage I found, because the king's lineage is literally recorded in the historic book written 2,000 years ago in Han Dynasty, I just mentioned, and also the king's titles are carved, recorded in the inscriptions excavated from the last capital city. The last capital city, the inscriptions, oh, we are doing this sacrificial offering ceremony to this deceased king, this deceased king, or a group of them. They have all of these kings' name inscribed. Okay, so, but the dating is all these, the Chinese one were dated like in the king who was reigning in 1200 BCE. But all these four kings titles are in the early stage of Song Dynasty. They were like the second king, the third king, the fourth king, the sixth king, right? They are the king in the early time of Song Dynasty, because Song Dynasty lasted 600 years. The writings excavated from China are in the later stage, the last time. Okay, so there is a gap between the writing excavated in China and the kings. Their title appeared here in America.
I see.
They are like 400 years gap. 400 years gap. So if the voyage was sent by the sixth king when he was reigning, the sixth king's time was 340 years earlier than the kings ruined in China in the last capital city. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, it means the characters we see here were actually 340 years earlier than the characters writings we excavated from the last capital city in China. So this is one important point about my paper. My paper just showed that the characters here in America are 340 years earlier than the writings excavated in the capital city in China, because the Song Dynasty lasted 600 years. I have a theory. In the early stage, they weren't in modern day China, because in this historical book, it's literally said Song Dynasty kings moved their capital city at least 6 times
Hmm.
during one king's time. During one king's time, moves capital city, but they are like 30 or 40 something kings. One king moved the capital city 6 times. King, they may be moved 50 times. They may be moved from the Indus Valley all the way because there's some catastrophe happened. It wasn't okay for them to live there, so they moved all the way to the east to China. Then finally, they moved in that place, then built their last capital palace. Then then have their civilization continue as a Chinese civilization later.
And they use the characters, yeah.
Yeah, they continue to use their characters. But in the early stage, they might be in the Indus Valley. So this is why at the same spot, mingled with the Song Dynasty king's titles, I see this group of symbol. This group of symbol as shown in A and B. They are the symbol carved on the seals excavated from the Indus Valley civilization. What was Indus Valley civilization? This was a Bronze Age civilization which existed like around 3,100 to 5,000, 3,000 years ago to 5,000 years ago in Indus Valley, Indus River Valley. Okay, so why? Because this group of symbols are very unique. You see, they're like teeth, 2 teeth, 3 teeth, 4 teeth, a group of different teeth, right? So this symbol very unique, except for the Indus Valley seal. You cannot see these groups. Have you ever? You've been in this field for so long. Have you ever seen this kind of symbol anywhere else?
No,
right?
I haven't.
Yeah, I don't see this kind of in China. I don't see them in Mesopotamia. I only see this kind of thing in the Indus Valley. But what I coincidence, we see this group of symbol here in America. Not only in America, these symbols are mingled with the Song Dynasty characters and in the different style. You see this one, the first one, they also have a crown.
The crown, yeah.
Same
and this
as
one too.
Capital I. I think this is just people's graffiti in later time, and this one is redone because you can tell this one looks newer, and also these 2 teeth always connected because they did the bad job.
Yeah.
But they redid it. They almost connect these 2 teeth, right?
Yeah.
And also compared to the left one, you see it looks new because this one was redone. Right, so you have a crown on it, exactly same as the capital I. Also, if you scroll down, you can see this kind of symbol is mingled with the king's titles on the same panel. You see this one, the one on top. They have the line. They have the line.
Yeah.
Have the decoration same as the Song Dynasty king's titles, right? They have, so this is why I say they were carved by the same people. The same people who carved the Song Dynasty characters also carved this group of symbol because same crown, same style, and also mingled with. You see the one next to the circle in blue on top.
This one.
Next to it, on its right, next, right, no, sorry, left, no, left.
Which left?
Yeah, the top, circled in blue, the top one.
Yeah, the top one?
No, the one beneath it. Yes, the second picture. The second
This
picture
one.
in the middle, next to it.
Whoops, I did a mistake. Sorry. This
Yes,
one?
yes. You look at this way, what's it?
Yeah, it's an eye.
It's an capital I. This is another ring. The third king's title with the same decoration with the lines, same as the Indus sign, Indus symbol,
Exactly.
right? So this is why I say, whoever carved this Song Dynasty title and characters also carved this group of Indus sign, the different keys. So which raises a question: why? Why these people were able to carved the Song Dynasty characters, also the Indus Valley symbol.
Well,
Because
let me speculate before you tell me what it is.
okay, you guess.
Because we have at least one historical record. I think it's true. You will tell me if it is or not. That the Chinese did accept exploration deeds. For instance, they had the treasure ships that most people know, but they also did some research on the coastlines for other people that paid them because they had the navy, they had good ships, and so they would do recognition missions for other people. Could they have someone from the Indus Valley doing the expedition with them to this place when they went there?
I have a theory in early Song Dynasty because Song Dynasty, not the regime was totally different. The regime as what we do, there was a country, there was an emperor, or there was a leader or president. They have the certain territory, they have the borders. No, back then, 4,000 years ago or 3,000 years ago, they wasn't in this kind of regime. They was just like they have a very strong tribe or very strong group of people who said, "Oh, I'm the strongest. I defeated all your enemies." So all the other tribes, maybe different ethnicity, maybe maybe the tribe, the leader was like some people look like Persian, okay, or look like India, but other tribes who are nomad like Mongols, okay, but they all say we call you the greatest of the great, okay, we call you our king, but we still have our own tribe. We are the chief, or we are the leader of our own tribe. We still live the same on the same land. We all own our land, but we just respect you as our king.
Sure.
Okay. But they just have this system. It's a loose system. It's not like the later dynasty or late modern people. They have very clear borders. They have this central government system. No, back then they may have. So it could be some dynasty kings have a close relationship with the leader of the Indus Valley, or they communicate with each other, or they are part of their territory. They are part of their kingdom, empire. Could be this.
Yeah.
So this is why the educated people can write Song Dynasty canon and a certain amount of kingdom scripts or Indus Valley. This is one theory. Or because if we pay attention to that, we noticed when did the Indus Valley civilization ended? It's ended around 3,300 BCE, which is 5,300 years ago, right? But when did the Song Dynasty appeared in China? We couldn't find the previous palace. We couldn't find the previous time sites. We only found the last capital city in China. But nothing. Of course, some scholars say, "Oh, this is the previous," but it looks like a village, So there are always arguments. But the international academic society haven't admit any site before the last capital city was found yet inside China. Okay, so there are lots of possibilities. Maybe back then this is a huge empire, so Indus Valley was part of this empire, or the empire, the center of empire itself was in Indus Valley. They conquered, or they have a close relationship, whatever, with the Indus Valley civilization. Later, they moved gradually to the east to China and settled their last capital. There are lots of possibilities. But anyway, the reality, not reality, the facts we see here, these are related to each other because they covered by the same people with the same crown,
Yeah.
with the same line, with the same style, and mingled with each other on the same panel, right? At the same time.
No doubt about it. But imagine when we go to a special mission today. Imagine we are going to the moon.
To the Antarctic the research you have
For many
people-
countries,
Yeah.
going together. So
together.
this is a major expedition, and this is the Atlantic. They didn't go through the Pacific, they went through the Atlantic. It means they turned around Africa. So it's a major voyage to be done. So
Yes.
it could be a joint venture of the best of several cultures around China or around whatever was China back then. And they all joined the voyage.
Back then, Song Dynasty was a huge empire. Said, okay, Indus Valley, you give me some people
Yeah,
go with us, right? Oh, this tribe, you give me some capable people
exactly.
to go with us, right? It's a lot of possibility, but the facts we see here in the pictures on the border, yeah, they are together, right? Not only Song Dynasty King Saddles, but also a group of Indus Valley side. Because this is a very unique science. You cannot see that anywhere else, but on the Indus Valley cells.
It's true. It's quite
Also,
interesting.
I guess why they have two teeth, why they have four, why they have different teeth. So if you compare these two cells on the right, you see, sometimes they have 4 teeth, sometimes they have 4. But you compare these two animals, which one looks more solemn, more superior? This one, right? This the one, the animal at the bottom looks more, flashy,
Imperious. Yeah.
imperial, superior. So this one with 5 teeth, the one on top only with 4 teeth, which means the more teeth, the more superior.
The same with the other Chinese character that some have 3
Yeah,
and the other one had 4.
The king in the lower position only have 3 horizontal lines. The king with higher position have 4, even 5 lines. The same thing. The teeth is the same thing with the character 1, meaning king. You have more lines, means your position is higher.
It makes
Same
sense.
logic.
Makes sense.
So this is the other in the symbol I found the same or similar. You see picture B. You have these 2 picture B. Yeah, you have these 2 Indus Valley signs, but you can see these 2 signs in the petroglyphs. Picture A, the petroglyphs. Right, because this one you don't see them, too often in other places. The one like in a U, but it's a very deep U. It's different from the Song Dynasty vessel one because it's deep.
Yes.
Right, there is difference.
Now this one, some might say that they can find this one in several places.
Yes. But it's next to this U, this deep
yes,
U.
exactly. It gives it context. It gives it.
Yeah, you need to talk about them in context, right? This deep U, you only see it in this valley.
And then you have this one that is quite unique.
Yes, this one unique. The F1 you can see in other places too.
Oh, this one I never saw before.
You never saw it before? I saw it a lot. It's not only,
like this, straight like this. I've seen this round. I've seen a lot.
Oh, I see exactly the same one in American petroglyphs a lot. You see, these 2 signs are Indus sign, but right next to the Song Dynasty title, the capital I.
But this one appeared before in one of your images.
I think because on this border there are only 3 signs. This is a huge boulder. You can only see this 3. Yeah, this is because you cannot tell how huge it is. I can tell. This is very huge boulder, like a small.
Yeah, we don't have that idea
They
yet.
only have these 3 on this. So this is why I think they were together. So you see this one with 1, 2, picture C. Yeah, you see this one with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You scroll down to see the petroglyph, exactly the same. So there is the overlap between Song Dynasty characters and the Indus Valley symbols. There are some overlap. So this is why in the early stage of Song Dynasty, either they were in the Indus Valley or they had a close relationship, communication, connection with the Indus Valley civilization. This is why you see their scripts overlap. So this is why this is so important for this research. It's not only show the characters, king's titles, 340 years earlier than what's excavated in China. You also, this side, my research also show you, they had them overlap, commingled together in the Song Dynasty characters and the Indus sales.
It's quite intriguing. Now you see another one.
Yeah, at the same panel. So this research on American patterns, not only providing the evidence there is connection between the ancient America and the ancient China in Song Dynasty, also prove that there is a connection between the Song Dynasty and the Indus Valley civilization.
Indus Valley, yeah.
Yeah. So this is why I was so excited. I was so shocked when I was doing this research, because this is not only one layer of connection. This is the multiple layers of connection. The connection between Asian China and Asian America, the connection between Asian Song Dynasty and the Indus Valley, the connection between Indus Valley and Asian America. This is multiple layers of connection.
Yes.
In this research. So this is, but people don't know how important it is. Oh, I was excited, and I told my friends who has a academic background, they are excited also. But a lot of people who don't have the background information, background knowledge, they don't know how significant this research is.
Yeah, it is.
But I think over time, I will have my justice. Maybe after I die. You see the cross sign?
Yeah.
Guess what's this? This is the Indus Valley sign. There's a cross is over Song Dynasty king's title, but also the Indus sale sign. Oh, this is another interesting one. So this is 2 signs on the Indus Valley seal, but this is also 2 signs, 2 Chinese characters, but also carved on the border in this site called Painted Rock, Arizona. In Arizona, this side.
And these sites are a complete mess. For instance, this boulder could have been moved. And rolled or
yes. But this side I'm not very sure, because I only see not too many
symbols.
Asian Chinese characters. Maybe only on this boulder. Oh, this is we see this on the Göbekli Tepe relief. Göbekli Tepe relief, they carved a guy with his penis, and on his both sides with 2 tigers or lions, right? This is an Indus Valley seal with a person in center and the 2 tigers on both sides. We have seen a lot of the similar image all over the world, right?
Yes.
Sometimes the two snakes, sometimes two sticks. But
Sometimes the Babylonian had the lions strapped to his body instead of being with his arms open, but still the two lions.
yes, but what a coincidence! I just saw a post on X yesterday. So in Kairouhan, Taipei. Okay, we talk about later because I have the picture in another paper about Orion and the Squadron. Do you remember? We
Yeah.
talk about this in detail. So we just skip this. I just show people. So this is Song Dynasty character, exactly in the same structure as the Indus Valley Sail.
Yeah.
A person centered two tigers on both sides, right?
Right.
Yeah, this one. On left is the symbol cast on the bronze vessel in Earth in China. The right is the Indus Valley Sail symbol, exactly the same. So you see the character Wang, meaning king,
Yeah.
on the bronze
Bottom left. Yes.
Yes, the bottom is the character Wang, king. On top of the king is this sign, is like a snake sign, but it's the same as the sign on the Indus Valley Sail. So okay, let's scroll down. Yeah, this one. So on top, this is a symbol carved on the pottery artifact excavated from China. So at the bottom, there are the same symbol
From the Indus Valley.
Indus Sail, yeah, on Indus Valley Sail.
And again, the wheel.
Yeah, this one. And the
this one.
Yeah, yes. So why I see that there is connection between early Song Dynasty and the Indus Valley. You see, not only these characters mingle together in the petroglyphs in America, also you see the same symbol on the ancient Song Dynasty bronze vessel pottery excavated in China. We also see the symbol. So there is some overlap between the Song Dynasty character symbol and the Indus Sail signs. We see this overlap both in China and here in American petroglyphs.
And the diamond shape.
Yeah, this one is a Song Dynasty character, meaning 100. The one on the right. The diamond shape with another diamond shape. In Song Dynasty, it means 100.
100. Okay.
So some researchers on Chinese scholar social media says you see the small bars on left of this diamond shape.
Yeah.
Well, they can be mean number. So the diamond shape means 100. This means maybe 32. 100 is 32. Back then they wrote from left to right. So if you read from left to right, maybe this means 100, 2, 3, something, So there definitely a connection between early Song Dynasty and the Indus Valley, because when Indus Valley civilization ended, it comes the early stage of Song Dynasty. Oh, okay. This is all about this paper, but maybe we talk about the other paper later.
Sure. We're going for 3 hours now, so
you have to shorten it. It's too much.
But we can definitely do one for each one of those papers.
Ready on my channel. I have to read your articles, you read your research. Then I have this idea. What's your research about? Then I can have a better conversation with you about your research on my channel later.
Sure. It's not as intricate and perhaps as significant as your, but sure, we can talk about it. No worries. Mine is more global. It's not as specific.
I think everyone's research matters. I come to this way because I took like 3 or 5 years get myself familiar with other people's theories, research. Then I gradually have this feeling, oh, if I want to get to know the prehistory here in America, I have to look into the patriots. But this idea not just come up out of sudden. It's after I listening to people's research for like years when I came to the United States.
Sure.
So this is why it's important for us to listen to others' research, as long as this person is doing honest research, presenting authentic evidence and original information to us. It's worth being paid attention to, right? So everything I don't have any limitation for myself. No matter he's from the mainstream or from whatever, or he teaches himself. I just say, if this person respects facts, if this person does honest research, I'll give my respect. Otherwise,
it's our philosophy. We don't mind alternative. We just need alternative but factual research, because there's so many ways to speculate that don't have any basis that we can actually grab. And so, I prefer a factual alternative. It can be, but it has to be alternative factual research.
If you question the mainstream, please question with presenting facts. This is the only way, right?
Yeah.
You don't just question with your subjective assumption, with your subjective opinions. You have to present evidence, facts.
Sure, that's why the manuscript that you send you, the Resonant Earth, took more time to be reviewed scientifically than it took me to write it. So I distribute it for several people that specialize in each field of that.
I understand that there are lots of great discovery or invention. People got acknowledged later after they die, maybe hundreds, 1,000 years later. They finally got acknowledged, right? But for me, my duty is not to be, get acknowledged. Of course, I'm happy if I've got acknowledged by more people or even by the mainstream academia. But to me, my duty is just to present the evidence, present the facts to the world, right? The work is already done there. My paper is already there. The evidence is already being presented. So I think, okay, other things I cannot control, right? How many people admit it or realize the importance, but my work has done.
So for us to end, just promote your stuff and tell us where they can find you.
You can find me on X. I have an X account. I almost post every day. And the X account, you can put the link down below. And also, my 2 papers, you can find them on academia.edu. I post them. You can search Song Dynasty scripts. By search Song Dynasty, you can find the Song Dynasty one, or you can also search by common Asian cultural phenomena. You can find them.
I will link them. I will link the three.
Academia.com, they're my papers, X account.
And your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I remembered. I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, if you can find I didn't have too many videos, but I've already decided to make more videos because I have to fight with rumors and misinformation with some people too. So yeah, because I would like to clarify a lot of misinformation in the community. This is why I decided to do more videos on my channel.
Sure. And your channel is?
Weiduo You can just my name.
I will put the link. I will put the link in the description.
Yeah,
Everyone can find it.
Oh, they can find my X account. Then my YouTube channel has a link there.
Sure, sure. So don't go away. I just want to thank you very much for being here. Hope to do it again with more of your research, because it's vast. It's hard to cover. And thank you very much for being with us. To everyone, thank you for staying with us, and a very fond farewell. Thank you all.